From a humble $443 billion to one of the only companies on Earth casually flexing over $3 trillion, this is ranking the world's most valuable companies of 2025. We're kicking things off with Tesla, the company that somehow made electric cars sexy and turned its CEO into a full-time meme. Founded in 2003 and led by the occasional Twitter comedian Elon Musk, Tesla isn't just about cars anymore. They've expanded into solar energy, home batteries, and are actively trying to replace every gas station with a charging station. From launching cars into space to launching tweets that tank his own stock, Tesla has been on a roller coaster that somehow only goes up. They've basically cornered the EV market and turned self-driving beta into a lifestyle. And despite every competitor trying to catch up, they're still miles ahead. Unless, of course, you're trying to get your Tesla to recognize a stop sign. With a net worth of $1.328 trillion straight to ads, S-tier Visa, the silent partner in every regrettable online shopping spree. You don't really think about Visa until you check your bank account at 3 a.m. and whisper, "What have I done?" Processing payments faster than your brain processes financial responsibility, Visa dominates the plastic money game without breaking a sweat. It is the silent operator behind almost every purchase you make, processing over 250 billion transactions a year across the globe. They don't issue cards, give loans, or really do anything fun. Visa is just the middleman making sure your money gets from your bank to the store while they take a slice of the pie. Visa doesn't have one clear owner. It's a publicly traded company with major shareholders like the Vanguard Group and BlackRock pulling the biggest strings behind the scenes. Basically, it's owned by the rich, helping other rich people get richer while you buy a $7 coffee. But hey, with a net worth of $614.34 billion, they can afford to ignore your decline transaction like a pro. D-tier. And if you thought Visa was cashing out big, wait until you hear how the next company is basically printing money just by being in the right place at the right time. United Health Group is the largest health insurance company in the US. And if that sentence already gave you anxiety, you're not alone. Covering over 50 million people, United Health isn't just about insurance. They also run clinics, pharmacies, and healthcare services through their Optum brand. Basically, if you've been to a doctor lately, they probably got a cut. United Health is publicly traded, with top investors including Vanguard and BlackRock once again sitting at the top. So yeah, the same people getting rich off your groceries are getting rich off your broken leg. At $469.88 billion, United Health is living proof that the only thing healthier than you is their profit margin. F tier. And speaking of things that keep getting more expensive, have you hit that subscribe button yet? Unlike your insurance premiums, this one's totally free. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, runs your social life whether you like it or not. If you've ever ignored a message, doom scrolled through Reels, or accidentally liked your ex's vacation photo from 2016, congrats! You've helped pay Meta's bills. Meta officially rebranded in 2021 to focus on building the metaverse, a virtual reality universe where Mark Zuckerberg really wants us all to hang out in digital boardrooms. Which sounds fun if you've ever dreamed of attending work meetings in space. The reality? The metaverse is still more glitchy Sims than sci-fi utopia, but they're pouring billions into making it happen. Speaking of Zuck, Mark Zuckerberg owns about 13% of Meta, but controls over 58% of voting shares. Meaning no big decisions happen without his robotic approval. You can thank him for the endless updates to Instagram's algorithm. And despite the occasional privacy scandal, government lawsuit, or platform meltdown, Meta sits pretty at $1.543 trillion. Proof that selling ads on your high school friends' engagement photos is apparently a trillion-dollar idea. B tier. Zuck might own your screen time, but the next company? They're making trillions just selling chips. And no, not the kind you dip in ketchup. The kind that powers the future of AI, gaming, and pretty much every computer you've ever touched. If you've ever played a video game, trained an AI model, or wondered why a graphics card costs more than your rent, you've already felt the power of NVIDIA. Founded in 1993, NVIDIA started out making GPUs, graphics processing units, to help gamers get smoother frame rates and better explosions. But in 2025, NVIDIA has evolved into the backbone of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and autonomous vehicles. Basically, if a machine is thinking faster than you, NVIDIA probably made the brain. Ownership: Nvidia is publicly traded, but its legendary CEO Jensen Huang, yes, the leather jacket guy, still holds a significant stake and remains the face of the company. The usual suspects like Vanguard Group and BlackRock are major institutional shareholders, because apparently those two own a slice of literally everything. What makes Nvidia so unstoppable is that nearly every big tech breakthrough, self-driving cars, chatbots, image generators, cryptocurrency mining, runs on Nvidia chips. Demand has been so high that AI companies are practically throwing cash at them, and gamers are still begging for affordable GPUs like it's 2020. And with a jaw-dropping net worth of $2.86 trillion, Nvidia has officially leveled up from gaming accessory company to tech god status, S tier. ExxonMobil, the global giant that's been fueling your car, heating your home, and giving environmentalists migraines since, well, forever. Officially founded in 1999 through the merger of Exxon and Mobil, the company itself traces its roots back to John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil empire in the late 1800s. So yeah, they've been cashing in on oil longer than most countries have been around. ExxonMobil is one of the largest publicly traded oil and gas companies on the planet. They specialize in exploring, producing, refining, and selling petroleum products, from gas station fuel to the chemicals in your plastic water bottle. And if you've noticed gas prices climbing higher than your GPA, well, you can probably thank these guys. As for ownership, no single person or government controls ExxonMobil. Instead, it's run by major shareholders like Vanguard Group, BlackRock, and State Street, proving once again that Wall Street quietly owns like half the planet. With a net worth of $489.26 billion, ExxonMobil is basically sitting on a literal gold mine, except it's black and sticky, and occasionally causes international controversy. C tier. Exxon might be running on oil, but the next company? They're fueling the entire digital world. Meet TSMC, the company you've probably never thought about, but absolutely couldn't live without. Officially known as Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC is the world's largest and most advanced semiconductor manufacturer. Translation: they build the tiny microscopic chips that power pretty much everything. Smartphones, laptops, cars, gaming consoles, medical devices, your fridge, probably your toaster. Founded in 1987, TSMC doesn't sell products to you directly. Instead, they work behind the scenes producing high-performance chips for companies like Apple, AMD, Nvidia, and Qualcomm. Basically, they're the supplier to the stars of the tech world. Ownership-wise, TSMC is publicly traded, with the same big institutional investors like Vanguard and BlackRock. But the Taiwanese government is also a significant stakeholder, considering how crucial TSMC is to the country's economy and the global tech supply chain. With a net worth of $1.114 trillion, TSMC quietly controls the future of tech while somehow staying out of the drama. A tier. JP Morgan Chase, the bank that makes other banks feel poor. Founded way back in 1799, it's now the largest bank in the United States and a global financial powerhouse. JP Morgan doesn't just keep your money safe. They're running investment banking, asset management, private wealth, and probably a few side hustles we don't even know about. At the top of the empire is Jamie Dimon, the long-running CEO and unofficial dad of Wall Street, who has steered the company through recessions, scandals, and more quarterly earnings calls than any human should endure. With $711.34 billion under its belt, JP Morgan is basically the monopoly man, but real. And richer. And somehow charging you overdraft fees. B tier. We've seen banks stacking billions and chip makers running the world from behind the scenes. But up next, it's time for the company that's turning your medicine cabinet into a gold mine. Eli Lilly, the pharmaceutical giant that's probably in your medicine cabinet right now, or at least your insurance paperwork. Founded way back in 1876, Eli Lilly has become one of the world's leading drug manufacturers, creating treatments for diabetes, cancer, mental health, and most recently, joining the global gold rush of weight loss drugs with their blockbuster Zepbound. In fact, Eli Lilly's sudden rise in value comes from dominating the growing market of GLP-1 medication, turning weight loss into one of the most profitable industries on the planet. Forget gym memberships. These guys are making billions by giving people injections that do the heavy lifting. There is no single individual running the show, but David A. Ricks, the current CEO, is steering this pharmaceutical cash machine. With a net worth of $681.32 billion, Eli Lilly is proving that health really is wealth, at least for them. A tier. MasterCard. Founded in 1966, MasterCard is one of the world's largest payment processing networks, facilitating transactions across more than 210 countries and basically living off of fees from your impulse shopping. But unlike banks, MasterCard doesn't actually issue cards or give out credit. They just sit in the middle, skimming a cut every time you swipe, tap, or enter your card number online. It's the ultimate middleman move, and somehow it's worth nearly $500 billion. In terms of ownership, MasterCard is publicly traded with, you guessed it, Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street holding the largest chunks of the company. Are you sensing a pattern yet? Because they definitely are. With a net worth of $480.15 billion, MasterCard is living proof that you really can get rich off other people's bad spending habits. C tier. We just watched MasterCard get rich off your bad spending habits. But up next, we've got the company quietly running the tech behind your entire online life. If you've ever wondered what keeps your phone, Wi-Fi, and basically the whole internet running, the answer is probably Broadcom. Founded in 1961, Broadcom started as a small semiconductor company, and now it's a tech giant supplying the essential chips that power smartphones, modems, data centers, Bluetooth devices, and pretty much any gadget you can't live without. Broadcom stays out of the spotlight, but behind the scenes, they're controlling a massive chunk of the global wireless communications infrastructure. Without them, your Zoom calls would crash, your Wi-Fi would glitch, and your smart fridge would just be a regular fridge. Broadcom is publicly traded, with Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street as its top shareholders again, like some kind of corporate bingo card. The man leading the charge is Hock Tan, Broadcom's CEO, who's known for turning the company into a global powerhouse through massive acquisitions. With $1.075 trillion in value, Broadcom is proof that the quietest companies sometimes make the loudest money. B tier. Tencent is the tech giant you've probably heard of, but might not realize just how deep their empire goes. Founded in 1998 in China, Tencent is behind WeChat, which isn't just a messaging app. It's like if WhatsApp, PayPal, Instagram, and your bank account had a baby. In China, people use WeChat to do literally everything, from texting their friends to paying rent. But that's not all. Tencent is also a major player in gaming, owning stakes in companies like Epic Games, Riot Games, and dozens of other studios. They've quietly built a digital empire controlling everything from mobile payments to blockbuster video games. As for ownership, Tencent is publicly traded, but its largest shareholder is Prosus, a global investment firm, with the Chinese government keeping a close watch through regulation and influence. So no one man runs Tencent, but the state's presence is never too far behind. $443.52 billion in value. Tencent proves that dominating screen time, whether you're texting, gaming, or shopping, is still big business. D tier. If you thought Tencent had a grip on your free time, why don't we see the company that runs your entire grocery list? Walmart. The place where you can buy groceries, a flat-screen TV, a kayak, and questionable sushi all under the same roof. Founded in 1962 by Sam Walton, Walmart has grown into the largest retailer in the world, with over 10,000 stores across the globe and an online presence that's slowly catching up to the e-commerce giants. So what exactly is Walmart's secret sauce? Rock bottom prices, bulk everything, and the sheer audacity to be open 24/7 in places where nothing else exists. They dominate in groceries, household goods, and basically anything that can fit on a pallet. If you live in the US, there's a good chance you're never more than 15 minutes from one. Walmart is publicly traded, but the Walton family still owns about 45% of the company's shares. So yeah, while you're saving money on a pack of socks, the Walton heirs are quietly stacking billions behind the scenes. At a net worth of $733.44 billion, Walmart remains the undefeated champion of making you walk in for bread and leave with a new patio set. B tier. When your grandpa talks about the stock market, there's a 100% chance he's talking about Berkshire Hathaway. Founded in 1839, but transformed into a financial juggernaut under Warren Buffett, Berkshire is less a company and more an investment empire. They own massive stakes in brands like Coca-Cola, American Express, Apple, and Geico. And at this point, Berkshire is basically the closest thing we have to a real-life monopoly game. Warren Buffett, often called the Oracle of Omaha, still leads the company at the age of 94, with his right-hand man Greg Abel lined up to take the wheel when the time comes. Ownership-wise, Berkshire is publicly traded, but Buffett himself owns around 15% of the company, which is enough to keep him comfortably in billionaire territory until the sun burns out. With a net worth of $997.28 billion, Berkshire Hathaway is proof that slow and steady investing works out just fine when you're buying whole airlines and railroads like Pokemon cards. A tier. We just checked out the king of bulk shopping and the godfather of investing. But up next, the online empire that's been draining your bank account one click at a time, Amazon. The reason you now expect everything from phone chargers to patio furniture to show up on your doorstep tomorrow. Founded in 1994 by Jeff Bezos as a humble online bookstore, Amazon has grown into a global e-commerce beast, delivering packages, streaming your favorite shows, running cloud servers, and probably listening to your conversations through Alexa. Today, Amazon dominates online retail, owns Whole Foods, controls a massive part of the cloud computing industry through AWS, Amazon Web Services, and is making moves into healthcare, grocery delivery, and even electric delivery vans. If there's a market, Amazon's either in it or about to be. Amazon is publicly traded, with Jeff Bezos stepping down as CEO, but still holding around 9% of the company. The rest is spread across big institutional investors and public shareholders, though Bezos is still busy rocketing himself into space while the packages keep flowing. With a net worth of $2.320 trillion, Amazon isn't just an online store anymore. It's a lifestyle, and maybe a little bit of a monopoly. S tier. Oracle might not be the flashiest name in tech, but behind the scenes, they're running a massive chunk of the business world's data infrastructure. Founded in 1977 by Larry Ellison, Oracle built its empire on database software, helping companies store, manage, and analyze ridiculous amounts of information long before the term big data became trendy. Over the years, Oracle expanded into cloud computing, business applications, and cybersecurity, becoming the quiet workhorse that keeps corporate IT departments running. You might not use Oracle personally, but there's a good chance your favorite websites, apps, and online stores rely on their software somewhere along the line. Ownership-wise, Oracle is publicly traded, with Larry Ellison still owning about 40% of the company, making him one of the richest people on Earth. So while other tech billionaires are busy tweeting, Larry's chilling on a yacht and buying Hawaiian Islands. With $446.22 billion in value, Oracle is proof that being the boring tech company can still make you filthy rich. C tier. And guess what? The company coming up has more oil than some countries. Saudi Aramco isn't just an oil company, it's the oil company. Founded in 1933, originally as a US-Saudi partnership, Aramco eventually became fully owned by the Saudi Arabian government, and today, it's the largest oil producer in the world. If there's oil coming out of the ground, Aramco is probably behind it, or at least cashing in. Their operations are massive. We're talking 10 million barrels of oil per day, plus natural gas, refining, and chemicals. Basically, if the world is still addicted to fossil fuels, Saudi Aramco is the dealer. And while the rest of the world talks about going green, Aramco is busy stacking cash like it's going out of style. In 2019, Aramco went public, but just a small slice. The Saudi government still owns over 90%, so really, the company is just the kingdom's personal piggy bank. Those oil profits are fund everything from mega cities to football clubs. With a net worth of $1.822 trillion, Saudi Aramco doesn't just have oil money, it has all the oil money, a tier. If you're still watching, that means you're into this. So why not go full shareholder and subscribe? No stocks required, just one free click. Trying to imagine life without Google is like trying to imagine the internet without, well, the internet. What started in 1998 as a college project by Larry Page and Sergey Brin is now the default answer to almost every question you've ever had, from "What's the weather?" to "How do I boil water?" to "Is it normal to Google this much?" But Google didn't stop at search engines. Under its parent company, Alphabet, it now controls YouTube, Android, Gmail, Google Maps, and about half the apps on your phone. Whether you're watching videos, navigating traffic, or just checking your email, chances are Google is quietly running the show. Ownership-wise, Alphabet is publicly traded, but Larry Page and Sergey Brin still hold super voting shares, which basically lets them steer the company from behind the curtain while Sundar Pichai handles the public-facing CEO duties. With a net worth of $2.369 trillion, Google doesn't just organize the world's information, it makes a fortune selling ads next to it. S tier. And now, it's time. You've seen the trillion-dollar oil empires and internet overlords, but the final two? These are the GOATs. The ones sitting comfortably on top of the business world like it's a throne. Buckle up. When it comes to tech empires, Microsoft is the original boss level. Founded in 1975 by Bill Gates and Paul Allen, Microsoft started by selling software, most famously Windows, which quickly took over personal computers around the world. Fast forward to 2025, and Microsoft isn't just helping your grandma use Word. They're powering businesses, gaming, and even AI. Today, Microsoft runs Azure, one of the largest cloud platforms, owns LinkedIn, and casually bought up gaming giants like Xbox and Activision Blizzard, meaning they now make money every time you get wrecked in Call of Duty. Plus, their investments in OpenAI have made them a leader in artificial intelligence. Microsoft is publicly traded, with no single person holding dominance, but top shareholders include Vanguard, BlackRock, and Bill Gates himself, still holding a good chunk, even after stepping down from daily operations. At $3.156 trillion, Microsoft isn't just part of tech history, they're still writing it and cashing the checks. GOAT tier. And of course, the greatest company in this list, Apple. The company that convinced us all to pay $1,200 for a phone and then made us feel good about it. Founded in 1976 by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne, Apple turned personal computers into a household staple before revolutionizing the world with the iPhone, iPad, AirPods, Apple Watch, and of course, their magical ability to sell you the same product slightly better every year. But Apple isn't just a gadget company anymore. They're dominating services like Apple Music, iCloud, and Apple TV Plus, and their recent push into augmented reality and wearables shows they're not slowing down. At this point, Apple isn't just part of your life, it probably runs your life. Ownership-wise, Apple is publicly traded, with big names like Vanguard and BlackRock leading the shareholder table. And while Tim Cook might not wear turtlenecks like Jobs, he's kept Apple on top of the food chain without missing a beat. With an eye-watering net worth of $3.432 trillion, Apple remains the undisputed king of turning sleek design and smart marketing into an absolute mountain of cash. GOAT tier. And that's the list. 20 companies casually tossing around trillions like it's pocket change. At this point, money doesn't even feel real anymore. So if you want to keep the madness going, check out our video on the most expensive shoes owned by rappers. Because why stop at trillion-dollar companies when you can watch people drop a house deposit on a pair of sneakers?